What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the GoToGuys podcast.
What's up,
We're living
everybody?
our best lives. Huh, bud?
I was gonna say, what's up, everybody? We are living our best lives. Crazy, crazy day yesterday in the sports world, the wrestling world. NBA playoffs started, NHL playoffs started, Wrestlemania night one. A lot of things going on, and if you're a fan of all those things, it must have been a pretty good day for you.
Yeah, and get to run it back today as well. But man, where do we start? Do we just start with WrestleMania or do we start with basketball or
We can
what do
go
you
either.
prefer?
I think let's just start with basketball because a lot of stuff took place before the end of WrestleMania. We'll go in chronological order.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I guess starting off with the first game. I mean, first off, NBA playoffs started yesterday. The 3, 6, and 4, 5 matchups took place with the ones and twos playing today against the sevens and eights in the first game yesterday. Rematch of last year's first round, Indiana Pacers versus the Milwaukee Bucks. I mean, Pacers looked pretty good. Definitely showed up in game one at home, defending home court. Do have to mention though, Dame Lillard was out with his injury blood clot situation. Should be back tomorrow or Tuesday when they play game two. But I mean, if you're watching that series, I think you could kind of expect the Pacers to take a game just with that injury. I mean,
Yeah, no, it's amazing. Amazing matchups. I mean, it seemed like they really tried to just have Giannis be the be all end all guy,
the go-to
but
guy.
the go to guy. But it's difficult when you're the only guy out there and you're playing a well balanced team. I do have to say, and I know if you followed Jordan and I on our earlier podcast show when we were Jacob's Dynasty Sports, one of our debates was like LeBron and MJ, and we don't need to go down that road now, but seeing the highlights of yesterday's game and Giannis's box score made me think back to when like LeBron used to literally put teams on his back and would will them to wins and will them to the finals. But it's difficult to do. I mean, Pacers are a well balanced team, but that was a good first game to kick things off on the
Yeah.
slate yesterday.
I don't think it has much of an impact in terms of the rest of the series and how it will go, just because I need to see both teams healthy, but definitely a good win for the Pacers to kick things off. Obviously, if they lost that game, a lot of concern, just especially with the Bucks not being at full strength. But Pacers got it done. They did their job, defended home court. So I guess all eyes will point to game two for that series and if Dame's ready to go or not. And I don't think Dame would be on like minute restrictions either, just because it wasn't an injury, it was just a blood clot that got cleared
Yeah,
up.
it's amazing he's able to come back so quick because I know
Yeah.
there's been other players that have had that issue and it hasn't been so quick, but I trust that his doctors know what they're doing. You
Yep.
know, I think the second game of the day yesterday was probably the best game of the day. I mean,
Yeah,
talk about,
definitely.
yeah, Nuggets, Nuggets and the Clippers,
Yeah.
a
I
true
think
4-5.
similar to the first game, Nuggets got it done barely. Came back, heart of a champion, been there before. But I'm not counting out the Clippers in this series. Um, I mean, you have Kawhi there. Once again, James Harden. I mean,
Yep.
talk like everyone wrote him off. I don't know about writing him off, but just very impressive to say the least.
Yeah. I
Not
just
like,
think
yeah, yeah,
ultra motivated. I guess he's happy to be with that team because you're sort of seeing a fire in him that we haven't seen for a while.
yeah.
I almost thought he was like on the downside of his career when it
Well, it
didn't work
wasn't.
out in
He
Philly.
never was really bad. It just he's performing at an exceptional level
Right.
consistently with the Clippers at 35, maybe. I don't even know.
Yeah. And by the way, another person, it's interesting, this guy, talk about like the the most maligned, if that's the correct word, superstar player of all time. Like, Russell Westbrook, even though, he's in the waning years of his career, he's a former MVP, averaged a triple double, definitely a superstar, but it's like he is like somebody referenced him on Twitter yesterday. It's like Space Mountain, right? He's
Yeah,
just so up and so down. And I guess yesterday I saw some of your tweets, Jordan, on Twitter, like funny stuff, by the way, but like the quintessential up and down guy
I mean,
yesterday.
he hits the go-ahead three. It was in regular the regulation, hits the go ahead three to go up by 2. Harden ties it. Then he turns the ball over, goes to overtime, and then I don't even know like what he was thinking on some stuff, but they won and he played well enough to get the victory.
No,
So
absolutely. And, obviously, Kawhi Leonard being healthy, I mean, he's another superstar who's, just been sort of up and down and injured. And then obviously Nikola Jokic, who it's like, it'd be like strange to say he gets taken for granted, but like he literally, under the radar, not a loud personality, and he just goes out there and he's just listen. The guy's one of the greatest players of all time. So I think that series is just going to be legendary. I mean, I really,
yeah,
really do.
definitely going 6 or 7 in my
It's almost a
opinion.
shame when you have two teams like that matching up in the first round, right? Because they both
Yeah,
sort of
I mean
they
you
could
can't
just as
really
easily end up in the finals,
yeah
conference finals.
can't really prevent it though. Just in terms of like looking at the West, just every matchup. We'll get to the Lakers Timberwolves later, but and then you got like Warriors Rockets, Thunder Grizzlies. Like it might not sound like a Hollywood matchup, but it's still pretty good to say the least. I mean the Grizzlies are an 8 seed. It's pretty crazy.
Yep,
Um,
yep. So I mean, next on the slate, the Knicks and the Pistons, and that was interesting. I mean, I was sort of like following the box score on ESPN because WrestleMania started, and I'm like texting Jordan, and I'm like, are the Knicks really gonna lose this game? Because he's gone to Detroit games recently and been telling me that they're a decent team, and I think in my mind, just because they were so bad for so long, the fact that they are able to be so
it's the
competitive,
coach. The coach.
amazing. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
I mean,
It really is
I don't
amazing.
even know where to start with that game. I'm hoping that 21-0 run at the end lit a fire under the Knicks because like shooting badly happens in games like Brunson. Like I don't expect him to shoot 3 for 14 in the first half every game, and he finished strong. But that game was roller coaster, Space Mountain.
Amazing. Amazing. But I agree with you. One of the things I was happy to see in that game is that Tom Thibodeau actually played some of the bench
Yeah, like
players.
Shamit. Yeah,
Yeah, the Knicks cannot win with a six-man
and
rotation. They just can't
campaign
do
too.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, absolutely. And well, Mitch, don't forget, Mitch Robinson's coming off the bench now too, and he gave some quality minutes. But if the Knicks want to get past the Celtics or the Cavs, assuming they can get past the Pistons, they need their bench to contribute. I mean, you just can't. I mean, the Cavaliers are like 10 players deep. The
yeah.
Celtics are 9 players deep. I mean, you just got to have it. You
It,
can't run these guys into the ground.
it was actually interesting because I was like watching the game and I was thinking about like these rotations that he's doing. One rotation that Tibbs did that like interests me. It was I think it was like Brunson or Camp. It didn't matter who the point guard was, but the main thing was Cat and Mitch playing together. And in my mind, I'm like, makes no sense. But when you think about it, if you have Cat spreading the floor on the 3 point line and Mitch in the paint, very hard to defend. And then if for some reason that becomes the starting lineup, you can bring Josh Hart or OG off the bench and you still get quality minutes out of them. So
No,
I don't
I
know.
like it. I like it. It's a great observation. And the thing that's interesting is like when you're saying those two players, I'm like thinking in my mind, well, Mitch is definitely the center. You know, Cat could really be a 1 through 4.
Well, he's a
You
stretch.
know,
He's a stretch five.
right, right. But it is an interesting combination because Cat defensively, as much as he does get rebounds, he's not like a shot blocker and stuff like that. So I do think if you could get even 15, 20 minutes of those two guys on the floor not in foul trouble, it'd be an interesting
Yeah,
for matchup for other teams.
because I'm just thinking too. Um, like the Celtics, for example, they get Porzingis, and he obviously can shoot from anywhere. But then you bring in Horford, who's more of like a down. Like it's just interesting, and I think Tibbs is realizing like Knicks were great last year, but they weren't like the best 3 point shooting team. Shamit's a 3 point specialist. I mean, not like a specialist, but that's what he's used for. Deuce McBride shoots threes. Like he's doing things to stretch the floor, and it clearly worked down the stretch. And then if you feed like Mitch in the paint a cut, like it's just very tough to defend. And I think I saw that like moving forward, like Knicks weren't great to start. Hart goes to the bench with multiple fouls, and then the Knicks start to heat up a little bit. I don't know, just some observations. It's only game one, but I think that 21-0 run can't go unnoticed.
No, I agree. And the Knicks cannot lose this series. I mean, they
Yeah,
just
I don't think they
can't.
will,
Where
but
they've come from the last couple of years. I mean, I could honestly say I think Thibodeau's job might be in trouble, even though Leon Rose loves them. Like they can't. Like they have to get to the second round, and even losing in the second round will be a disappointment with the building. But let's see where it goes. I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, we'll see how the slate goes today, but to start off with compelling matchups like this. I think it's good for the NBA. I think it's going to pull more fans in over the next couple of weeks for some of these games. Whereas, the NBA has been criticized a little bit in more recent years for not having some of that compelling. And you got the Warriors going today, and that should be good. But listen, last game of the day yesterday. I mean, I certainly did not expect that game to go the way it did with the Lakers and the T-Wolves. Again, another crazy storylines. Like good
yeah,
stuff.
definitely. I was gonna say, obviously, you want the Lakers to win and LeBron, whatever. But the one thing you can't do after a game one is overreact. Same thing with like the Knicks. Like I'm not
Agreed.
like overreacting or anything. Same thing with the Nuggets, Pacers. Like
Agreed.
I said about the Pacers because they were injured. I mean, Timberwolves look great, and you can't underestimate them. They beat the Nuggets last year. I mean, I think it's fair to say the Mavericks like shot lights out when they played the Timberwolves last year, and that was a big component to them winning. But the Timberwolves look good, and I think Julius Randle, who's gotten a lot of what's the word? I don't think it's hate, but criticism for his past years on the Knicks. I mean, he shot the ball great yesterday. Nas Reed, he got injured late in the game, but he shot it great. I mean, Ant Edwards is a star.
Yeah.
Timberwolves are built well, and they can definitely make a run against anyone, including the Thunder, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I just think they shot. I mean, I think they broke their franchise record for threes. So I don't want to say like, oh my god, the Timberwolves got this in the bag after yesterday. I like LeBron and Reeves didn't have the best game. Luka performed great, but Timberwolves are definitely a force. But by no means do I think I expect this series to go 6 or 7 either way, no matter who wins it. So, but
Not
definitely
de-
impressive.
no, definitely good stuff. And for those just tuning in, you're listening to the Go-To Guys. Um, in the midst of a great sports weekend with a lot of good stuff going on, and finishing up, the Lakers and the T-Wolves. To your points, I mean, listen, Julius has been criticized. He honestly was the cornerstone that brought the Knicks back to where they are now. I know like Jalen Brunson is viewed, pretty much as that guy, but Julius was like took a reasonable contract, all NBA. He's got playoff experience. The Timberwolves have playoff experience because they made it to the conference finals last year. Dante, DiVincenzo, he's definitely been underwhelming there, but he could certainly pick it up at any point. So, listen, that should be a great series. I think the NBA would love to see the Lakers pull that out. I mean, you got a lot of star power there. Obviously, having Luka and LeBron in the playoffs for a deep run is good. But as you said, Anthony Edwards is a superstar, and he's got a nice supporting cast. It's going to be fun to
Yeah,
watch. It
agreed.
really is.
Agreed.
So, good slate, good games coming today. Golden State Warriors today too. So
Yep.
OKC.
Should be a good day. I
So
mean, okay, just real quick, OKC, Memphis, Houston, Golden State, Celtics, Magic, and Cavs, Heat. I mean, just
yeah,
the games to focus on are I think the Rockets, Warriors are the clear like matchup that everyone should
yep,
pay attention to. But hey, crazier things have happened. So don't be surprised if Magic are gritty. The Heat have been there before, and then the Grizzlies here and there. If Ja goes crazy, he could be the best player on the court at times, even better than Shea, in certain moments. But I think
yeah,
we'll save that for next time.
yeah. The one thing I would just add to that is Jimmy Butler on Golden State with Steph and Draymond and some of those younger players. If they can get past the Rockets, you know,
Yeah,
I think
I
Golden State again,
honestly,
heart of a champion. You
yeah,
know,
heart of a champion, but do not overlook the Rockets in terms of defense. People forget the Rockets held Steph to like 2 points at one game during the regular season. I know that might just be a fluke, but do not overlook the Rockets because they are young, they are hungry, and in my opinion, aside from Kenny Atkinson and then like obviously you got Pop, Spoelstra, and Steve Kerr, I think Ime Udoka is the best in the league. People forget in his first year he brought the Celtics to the finals, and then the whole thing happened with
no, you're right. You're right. I
so
did forget that. I did forget
I mean
that.
yeah.
But the Rockets and Detroit, wow, just we talked about it on the last show. Just
Yeah.
great stories. Great stories, the difference a good coach makes. You know, it's like you look at some of these teams in any sports, but especially the NBA, and you think that they're so far away from being able to compete, and then they just, in a year or two, they just turn it around. So if you've got good management, good GM, good plan, it can certainly be done.
Yeah, that pretty much does it for the NBA.
Yep.
I mean, I can go over hockey real quick. I'm not like the biggest without the Rangers in it. I mean, I don't really know too
And they
much.
fired the coach yesterday.
Yeah, they did fire the coach, but I guess just to recap real quick, Avalanche beat the Stars on the road. Big win. The Jets, who have been hot the entire year, I think the best record, won game one. Pretty expected. I think that pretty much did it for the hockey games. I think there were only two, and I think more to come today, but just a couple quick hitters. So I think we could shift our focus to what many wrestling fans would call the biggest night of the year, or maybe the second biggest night of the year because of WrestleMania night too. But last night WrestleMania took place. I think it was fair to say all eyes were on the main event, which we'll get to.
Yep.
But I think we could run through like the main matches real quick. I don't think we need to touch on like El Americano or whatever.
Yeah, El Grande Americano. Although Chad Gable getting his props in a WrestleMania match is that he deserves it. So I'll give him that.
Yeah.
I thought he should have maybe should have had a run with the IC title against, you know, the opener, Gunther, which against Jey Uso, and you know, Jordan and I were watching that, and
is that
we
even
were
that
texting.
Like I'm happy or just to break it down, Jey Uso finally became world champ, beat Gunther, who's, I mean, a star. I think we're all in agreement.
Yeah.
Just a tough SOB.
He's one of the best right now, one of the best.
Yeah, and it's just, Jey deserved it, definitely. In my opinion, it's just, that match, like, it just wasn't believable in any way. And I know they're, like, entertainers, they're doing their job, but I just don't think.
Well, the thing is, if you listen to, like, Triple H, and for those of you listening who like wrestling, I'd encourage you to go and watch the Hall of Fame ceremony, which was taped late on Friday night, Saturday morning out in Vegas. Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley, the chief content officer, essentially running the WWE on a day-to-day basis now, at least the storylines. He spoke for over an hour. He is an immensely intriguing individual just because he's got that view on the wrestling business, which is entertainment, but these guys are incredible, but also the business side of things. And he was talking about how when he was in Evolution with Ric Flair and Batista and Randy Orton, like him and Ric Flair talked about what they needed to do to make Randy Orton and Batista stars. And they did it. They did it. Randy's still around. He's 45. He's had some injuries, but he's planning to continue to wrestle. Absolutely. You know, Batista is like a big movie star now, but I think that's what they looked at doing with Jey. Again, Jey's been around for almost 20 years, primarily a tag team wrestler. Obviously, he's been elevated in the bloodline. That being said, and I don't know if you would agree, Jordan, when people go up against Gunther, if you don't have that inherent toughness that Gunther has, it's not believable for him to lose.
And to make him tap, like,
yes,
it's one
ridiculous.
Thing to pin him, like, I think last year at WrestleMania, Sami Zayn, who is also great, it was a little hard to believe, but at least it was realistic because it was like a pin.
Yes.
And it was just like moves and like it's not like Gunther like gave up. He just like he was pinned. Like for a guy like Jey, who I don't think has ever made someone submit, it just made no sense.
It made no sense for him to tap out. He was barely in the hold. Like Jey was in the same hold earlier in the match, and he was like passing out. The other thing, like with the storyline with Jimmy, where Gunther, like I know wrestling is choreographed at some level, although I have the utmost respect for these guys. When Gunther made Jimmy bleed, I was like sick to my stomach. Like it was like an incredible, like sort of dramatic portrayal that they were trying to get across to the fans to position Jimmy better. But like, I think I would have enjoyed last night's match better if like Jey hit Gunther with the title, busted him open, just like beat the crap out of him and lost the match. Like I would have been okay with that. It just seemed like Jimmy was overmatched. He seemed winded. Like I don't know if the
Jay
hectic
was
schedule and the
overmatched. Jay was
pressure. I'm sorry,
overmatched.
Jay. He just seemed overmatched. He seemed winded. It just seemed like Gunther was lowering his standards to lose. So it just
Yeah, I
I
think
don't know.
like if they were to have Jay win, like he like needed to like almost break Hunt or not break Hunt. What I don't know what I just said. Break
Yeah,
like Gunther's like literally just make
yeah,
him give up like to the
yeah.
point where he
Like
just like passes out like Gunther does to someone. Like the only person I think ever that Gunther has fought where it was like realistic was Ilya like back in the day, and
well,
then
Orton when he fought Orton, it was a good
yeah
match, and he actually
Orton.
beat
But I'm
Orton.
talking about like submission. Like Gable is the only person I think that would
Yeah.
can make him like and make it realistic, but just very interesting.
No, I totally agree. Like it just was off. It just felt forced. And I think Jimmy will have the title, or Jay, I'm sorry, will have
For
the
like
title for
a
2 or 3
day.
months, and then just he'll lose to. I mean, I have whatever. We'll talk a little bit about
Rollins.
the main
Yeah.
event, but yeah, like Rollins is time. But other than that match, I mean, no disrespect to the other matches. I thought the Charlotte Tiffany
That was
Stratton match was very intriguing
it
and
was
and
like
very well done.
I thought it was okay, but like when you watch back, it like looked like Charlotte was like sandbagging, which is like
No.
being dead. Like it just I don't know. I think
Charlotte is a perplexing individual
yeah.
just because of like, she's like just regarded as like the greatest women's wrestler of all time. You almost feel like she can't lose. Part of me thinks she was brought back, originally won the Royal Rumble, and the plan was for her to win. But the way the storyline unfolded with them attacking
Yeah.
each other personally and the fans' reaction, I wouldn't be surprised if she almost said, you know something, let Tiffany have the win. She needs it
Yeah.
more than I do, you
Yeah.
know?
I
So
mean,
I also they were wearing the same color
yeah,
outfits. I
like
mean,
it
there was
just
something a
didn't like
little off in that too. Usually
yeah.
they're so good with the details.
Yeah. I
Looked like
mean,
Tiffany got banged up a little bit in that match also, like she was bleeding from the mouth
yeah.
and what have you. But I mean, really, like it's like you said, other than I mean, that match was decent. I'm trying to think.
Fatu was decent.
Yeah, no, that was good. That's a star in the making. With Jacob. I mean, Jordan's been on that since day one. He's just got like that sort of I'm fearful of this guy when he's on TV approach. But I also sort of feel bad for LA Knight because again, he's almost like Jey Uso. Like he's been around 20 years. He's been on a nice run the last couple years, but you run into a
Yeah.
freight train like Jacob Fatu, and what are you going
Yeah.
to do? How about Solo? How about
Yeah.
him? Another one.
Hmm.
So
I guess just talking about the main event because I think that's what everyone like remembered it by. I think we
yep,
talked about. I don't know if we posted this podcast, but we were talking outside of it, just saying like what's gonna happen, and I think you predicted it pretty much like right away. It made the most sense just because Punk and Roman, like Punk got his main event, Roman's had his success, and they're still gonna win in the future. It's not like this is like what's next for them. Like they'll have stuff to do. Probably feud with each other until SummerSlam, like you said. But I just think Rollins deserved it. Long time coming, similar to McIntyre.
yep.
They both deserved it, but Rollins and Punk or Rollins and Heyman is going to be a duo, and Rollins is going to win, and I expect him to win sooner rather than later.
And he
And I
deserves to win. He
yeah.
absolutely deserves to win. I mean, he's the MVP. That match, it's
Oh
like
my god, that was
if you're not a
crazy.
wrestling fan, you probably wouldn't get this. And some people just think, again, it's fake and stuff. But like, Jordan, my dad, and I, and it's beautiful. My dad's going to be 80 on Tuesday. Jordan is 22. I'm 51. The fact that we can lockstep in the same way on something that we enjoy is just, it's a beautiful thing. And like, we're just watching that. We're not watching it together. We're texting and we're just like, man, this is something special with three of the greatest wrestling entertainers of all time. I mean, the stories of these guys, and we could go on for hours. We could do a show just based on this. Like, even when they come out, Rollins comes out, he's in black, the lights go out. I'm like, what's going on? Then he's in white. Roman Reigns is my favorite wrestler.
He was
And it's,
insane yesterday. Like I know
it's,
they're all three of them are great, but he's just on a different level.
he was, I'd say they're all on the same level, but I agree with you. Like he's come so far from what he dealt with when they were trying. Vince McMahon was trying to force him down our throats. I mean, like, he's the master of the 2 9/10 of a second kick out. Like,
It's the
some of the
little
other
things.
guys, if
The
you
little
watch,
things.
absolutely. Like, some of the other guys, if you watch, the ref will almost pick up his hand on the third count
He'll
because
like
he
swipe
knows
it
in his
across
head.
the air. Like he'll like
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly. But you don't have to do that with Roman because he's so choreographed. But he's chiseled out of stone physically. It just, again, where he was early in his career, like even 5 or 6 years ago, to what he is now. Like, he's a wrestling
Well,
god. I
it's
mean,
funny because he
oh
was
man,
like the man. I remember like 2014 Royal Rumble. It was like right when Punk quit, and everyone like it was him and Batista in the final two, and
yep.
everyone was mad because like Batista was getting shoved down, and everyone wanted Roman to win, and people actually thought he had a chance because he was in the final two, and then things went downhill, and then he's just on a like literally god tier.
It's like you said, just the way he wrestles. He kicked out of the GTS. He kicked out of the curb stomp.
The
Just,
sequence with like the GTS to the spear to the curb
oh
stomp
my
was
God, it's amazing. It was
they were
those
all great.
guys.
They
It
were
was
all
like
great.
poetry. Like, I'm gonna rewatch the match. Like, whoever behind the scenes, and probably Michael Hayes. I think he
Yes,
like
Hayes.
usually does the main events. The fact that they can put that down on paper and these guys can go out and orchestrate that with very few mistakes or slip ups. I mean, dude, CM Punk's 46 years old, 47 years old. That is not easy to
Yeah,
do.
I mean, got put
Like,
through a table.
it just, well, by the way, those announcer tables, they look like they're new now and
Yeah,
they perfectly bust in half. But still, like, everything about that storyline and the tie-ins to Paul Heyman, it's like they just showed you don't need a heavyweight championship to be in the main event of one of these marquee pay-per-views. They're not pay-per-views
yeah.
anymore, these PLEs. I mean, the prize was Paul Heyman. The prize, and even though I think Jordan and I talked about it, we thought that's where it was going. It is amazing that you can have something be so compelling, even though you think it's headed in that direction. And
Yeah,
the fact that he turned on Punk first, and then Roman thought he had him, and then he turned on Roman. And I
yeah.
got to tell you, Seth was just cool, calm, and collected about it. He was just like a matter of fact, because you know something? It's Seth Rollins' time. The guy has been an MVP. I think 10 years ago,
He
he had
was
his
the
shining
MVP.
moment in that triple where he cashed in
Yeah.
the money in the bank. And 10 years later, but this guy deserves like a 2 or 3 year run where he's got the wise man. You know, Roman's probably going to go on another sabbatical and not come back to SummerSlam.
No,
CM Punk will
I
be on
disagree.
TV.
I was gonna
You
say
think?
I expect all three of these guys to be in the main events plural next year. I think Rollins is gonna win the title, probably at SummerSlam or like before then. I think Roman and Punk are gonna feud at SummerSlam, and then I think the main events next year will be Roman versus Seth, and I think this is just my opinion, Roman versus Seth, and I think Punk will win the title off Cena at some point, and then it'll be Punk and Cody will win it back.
Wow. Wow. I thought Randy would be in there maybe. But listen, it's going to be interesting. But what I think is, I think Roman now, you're not going to see Roman probably till early July for SummerSlam, which is going to be in our
Well,
backyard
I think it's going to be
in
Punk
Jersey.
Roman. I think it has to be. I just think that makes the most sense booking
I don't
wise.
know. They both sort of got turned on.
Or
Listen,
Punk Cena. I don't know.
it could be. Listen, the beauty of it right now is even when you think you know the answers, they change the questions. Like I said, I give Triple H a lot of credit because I'll tell you, last night, not the most memorable WrestleMania in recent years up until that main event. And like it's a match of the year candidate. I mean, Cena and Cody are going to have a very difficult time topping that tonight. I just don't know. As good as John Cena is,
He's old.
I don't say old, but I just, like you said with Roman, I mean, the guy is freaking amazing. And Seth Rollins is amazing. All three of those guys,
Yeah.
it's just amazing. But like I said, Roman, I'll be rooting for Seth too.
Yeah.
In the past, I sort of didn't root for Seth. He was almost just around, and it was like, yeah, he's great. He lost to Cody 3 matches in a row, and he came back. He lost to Punk on Netflix. The guy deserves his run. And listen,
I
history shows
expect.
if you got the wise man in your corner, and maybe he'll
Yeah.
have a different name now. If you've got
I
Heyman in your
expect.
corner, you're going to go places.
I expect to see them both again tonight. Rollins and Heyman. in
You
some
think?
capacity in the main event.
No,
Um,
maybe, maybe. Listen, it's a spectacle. I mean, the WWE, those guys deserve a lot of credit. I mean, it's a juggernaut, clicking on all cylinders. But definitely looking forward to tonight.
yeah.
Definitely looking forward to it. But listen, great stuff. We usually like to keep the show to about a half hour. I mean, even though we could go on forever, but again, just love having the opportunity to do this with Jordan. We hope that, if you do take the time to listen and you enjoy it, you'll tell people. We've got our food reviews on Instagram. We're working on some other stuff. You know, you only live once.
Yeah.
So the go-to guys are going to make the best of it we possibly can. And we hope, if we're putting a smile on your face or getting you to listen, then hopefully we're doing something right.
Yep. But another busy day ahead. And I don't have work today too because it's Easter. So happy Easter to everyone who celebrates.
Happy Easter to everybody. All good stuff. And Jordan and I have some traveling coming up. He's got graduation. Hopefully we'll get in another show, maybe even tomorrow or Tuesday. We'll see what happens. There's just a lot of good stuff. But we appreciate you guys tuning in and hope that you'll tune in next time for another episode of
The go-to
The Go-To
guys.
Guys.
All right.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.